A journey of 1000 steps starts with a single step. The single step you make forward and you make another, you carry your leg, put forward, make another. Then finally you will make 1000 steps. But do you really know where that 1000 step is heading you? That is the first question that you really need to ask yourself the moment you start making a journey. A journey is a long journey, and you remember we have 1000 steps that you have to make to accomplish a journey. Maybe you're going somewhere and you know that when you reach there you shall have made 1000 steps. But do you know what you're going to meet along the way before you complete those 1000 steps? I think that is the point where we miss, and you find that many of us have lost their way because they are not aware of what they are going to meet on the way. You may not exactly know what you're going to meet along the way, because some of us, if we exactly know what we are going to meet along the way, we cannot start making that 1000 steps. But not that us we know what we are going to meet along the way, but at least we are prepared for what we are going to meet along the way. That preparation is what's going to determine whether you're going to reach 1000 steps or not. Because you may just start the journey thinking that the journey is going to be smooth the way you were thinking it, the way you dreamed it. But there are a lot of challenges that you're going to meet here and there that you have to prepare yourself. The preparation is not that specific, that you're going to meet this particular kind of challenge and this specific way that you're going to combat that particular challenge. But there's a way you can prepare yourself so that any challenge which come along your way, you will be able to defend it. Sometimes you can cover your head, but the arrow comes through your belly. You cover your belly, the arrow comes through your heart. You cover your heart, the belly, the arrow comes through your leg. So it means that you have to prepare yourself. You have to protect every part of your body so that anything that come along the way, you'll be able to combat it. So that is the way we need to prepare ourselves before we start a single step towards 1000 miles or 1000 steps. Many of us have left along the way. There are many students, or there are many young men who grew up, they had very big dreams, and their dreams died along the way. The reason why their dreams died along the way is because they covered their heads but they left their hearts. Some covered their hearts and left their belly. So when the arrow came, the arrow was able to strike. You see, when the arrow comes and strike anywhere, it will, if it doesn't kill you, sometimes it can paralyze you, it can disabilize you, and the time you get disabled, you'll not be able to move, you'll not be able to make steps the way you were making them before. So it means that you have to prepare yourself, and the time you put your focus on the goal, when you put your focus on 1000 miles or 1000 steps, you'll be able to go through anything that will come along your way as strong as possible. The challenges, these are challenges which have been meeting people. The people who have succeeded met them. Not that they never met them. The people who succeeded met them. And you too, just because you're human and them also human, they never had any supernatural power. Just the limited power that you have, that's the same power that they had and they went through. It means that you can also go through. I've seen the people who we grew up with. Some of them have dropped along the way because they meet the peer pressure. Some of them find whatever they were doing was hard. So they realize, they find themselves in a situation where they could not continue. It means that the arrows strike somewhere where they never covered. So you realize that some of them drop at the 200 steps, some of them drop at the 300 step, some of them even drop at the 800th, the 800th step, because they met some challenges which they were not able to go through. So before you make a single step, before you make that single step towards 1,000 miles or 1,000 steps for that matter, you have to prepare yourself. You have to know that there is this thing called the peer pressure. There's something called depression. There's something called giving up. There's something called friends. There's something called drugs. These are the things which will come on your way. But if you stood strong enough, you'll be able to go through them. Because success needs someone who is focusing on the 1,000 miles, not someone who is focusing on the 200th, or someone who is focusing on the 1,000. When you reach the other side, maybe after reaching those 1,000 miles or 1,000 steps, you'll be able to start another journey. That journey is defined through the steps you made when you were making the first 1,000 steps. But it is not all gone. Even if sometimes you reach an 800th step, sometimes don't give up there. Just sit down. If it is a matter of giving up, there are things in life that will force you to give up. You give up them. Sometimes you make a step towards the wrong direction. Give up on that, then start another fresh journey. You're still going to make it. The most important thing that we have as human is life. The moment you wake up every morning, the moment you wake up from your bed in the morning, that one is a sign that you have been given another opportunity. Wake up, go outside there, do what you need to do. Do what something that you need is going to change you, something that is going to change the life of the community. That is the purpose why we were created. The Creator had a purpose for our creation. We were not just created to be there. We were created to do something. And that something, the most important thing that we need to do as humans, is to change the life of others. The moment we change the life of others, our life will be changed drastically. The moment you lived for others, the most important people we celebrate in our society today, they're the people who did not live for themselves, but the people who lived for others. In where I come from, we call them Twenty, but the common term which is known, they are called heroes. Some of them call them mashujas. So these are people who live for others. Are you ready to live for others? Then I tell you, you're going to have a successful journey. The moment you realize that in this journey which I'm making, I'm not just making it for myself, I'm making it for the others. There's some people who are looking up to me, even if they're your family, even if they're your children, even if they're your wives, whatever. The moment you realize that the journey you are making, you're not just making it for yourself, but for others, that's the moment that you will stand up when you fall down. That's the moment you will keep on moving, even if it is difficult to move. That's the moment you will realize that that's the moment you will stand up when it is difficult to stand up. So, everything, the moment, anytime you're doing something in your life, put it as you do it for others. That moment you will find that energy. But the moment you do something for yourself, the moment you do something for yourself, you will be someone who have a satisfied stomach. Someone who has a satisfied stomach, their brain will slumber, and they will not be thinking of something else, something that is productive, something which can change the life of others, something which can change their lives. So, but the moment you realize that yet you have a satisfied stomach, but somebody somewhere is sleeping angry, and that somebody is looking up to you, you will stand and